So, it happened. Tulsi Gabbard dropped out, and then she endorsed Joe Biden. Now, I have to be honest with you, wasn't expecting that. Knowing Tulsi's history, knowing the Tulsi lore, how she stepped down from the DNC to support Bernie in 2016, I always thought those two were just, you know, the two amigos, and I always wanted Tulsi to be his VP. They were probably the closest policy-wise, especially when it comes to foreign policy, especially when it comes to Tulsi's number one issue. Her and Bernie are like basically the same, like 90% the same on foreign policy. The only two up there that were the anti-war candidates. So it was quite the shock when she came out in support of probably one of the biggest war hawks up on that stage. The man who voted for the war that Tulsi fought in, the war that Tulsi used in all her rhetoric for her entire campaign. Every time Tulsi would speak, my brothers and sisters, we can't let my brothers and sisters go into another terrible war, like, I've seen the cost of war, blah blah blah, like the whole Tulsi thing. And then she supports fucking Joe Biden, who is like the Iraq war guy. It makes no sense. Make it make sense. Just like last week, Joe Biden was in an interview and he straight up was like, oh yeah, I didn't believe they had weapons of mass destruction. Yet he voted for and was like super vocally in support. Just casually announcing you're a war criminal. No big deal. People compare to like, oh, well, Bernie's gonna drop out and endorse Biden. But yeah, when Bernie drops out and endorses Biden, it's because Biden's gonna be the only one left. There's a huge difference. Tulsi actually had a choice. But did she? It's conspiracy time again! So as you all know, you've been on this channel, I bring this up every fucking video because it's a really, really important document. The letter the DNC sent to Tulsi in 2016, pause to read it. Hillary Clinton was not the official nominee. Yet in this letter, they're like, Hillary Clinton is our party's nominee. So obviously, they choose the nominee before the people choose the nominee. So this happened to Tulsi in 2016. She decided to endorse Bernie over Hillary, which was a mistake for her because, as you could see, they threatened to like blacklist her campaign and not give it any money, and we saw how that went. Just look at how the media treats Tulsi. Look at how the party treats Tulsi. But not only that, apparently, according to one of the people who was close with Tulsi's campaign on Twitter, they all have to sign a document that says this if they want to run for president. I, Tulsi Gabbard, being a candidate for the office of the President of the United States, swear that I will support and defend the Constitution, blah blah blah. I swear that I will fully support the Democratic nominee for president, whoever that shall be. So I don't know if this is a new thing they added, because of what happened with her in 2016, but she signed it, and I'm sure everybody else did too. Now, knowing that they pick the nominee behind the scenes, and knowing that they all signed this shit, I'm sorry about my screen flipping out. I think I have to, like, clean the dust out of my laptop. I think that's the issue. I promise I'll fix it. Just deal with it right now. So knowing this, knowing they have to sign this, knowing that they choose the party nominee behind the scenes, it starts to make sense. Also, after I made my Andrew Yang video, he tweeted this. I like where Bernie's head is. And someone said it would have been cool if you endorsed him. And Andrew said, it would indeed have been cool. I'm sorry, is it really tinfoil conspiracy at this point? So during all of this drama on Twitter, people freaking out at Tulsi, being like, why? You were supposed to stop the malarkey, not join it. Apparently Tulsi's brother posted this on Facebook. Thank you for your kind words, sir. Bernie has treated my sister like shit all the way through this. She has tried to endorse him again, and he refused her support. Whoever he is getting his advice from has done a terrible job. You go ahead and keep talking about her however you want, but know this. She is just going to continue being independent and keep fighting for us. Bernie isn't the man me and Tulsi once supported 100%. I don't know what happened to him. He's refused to take the fight to the establishment like Tulsi continues to do. So, there's a lot to unpack here. So let's assume this is true. Let's assume everything Tulsi's brother's saying here is true. I can believe it. I can believe people on Bernie's campaign don't like Tulsi. I can believe they have treated her like shit, but there's pictures from literally a month ago of Tulsi and Bernie hugging and, like, talking and sitting next to each other. I don't think the part about him treating her like shit is true, but nevertheless, I can believe that his campaign is acting shitty towards Tulsi. And I can believe that he gets terrible advice from his campaign. He refused to take the fight to the establishment like Tulsi continues to do. So, what? She's endorsing Joe Biden. That makes no fucking sense. You can't fight the establishment and then, like, before the other anti-establishment candidate drops out, support the establishment one over him. That doesn't make any sense. I do agree that Bernie hasn't really fought hard as he could fight. He does fight hard, but, you know, being like, Joe's my friend Joe. Bernie Sanders stop being nice challenge. So let's pretend this is true. It doesn't excuse her endorsing Joe Biden. I'm sorry, it doesn't. If you're somebody who cares about policy and the country, none of this is an excuse, even if it were true. But let's get to that. Tulsi's brother quickly deleted those posts, so that should be, like, hint number one that this might be bullshit. But then he straight up confirmed that he hasn't been involved in Tulsi's campaign at all and has no idea what's going on in it. And he has no idea about Tulsi's relationship with Bernie. So he basically just wrote a fucking fan fiction, which I guess he was trying to defend his sister because people were kind of really mad at her. A lot of Tulsi supporters ran with that, and they were like, Bernie, how could you? Bernie's a backstabber, blah, 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 and it made tensions even worse between the Tulsi and Bernie camps. And as someone who was involved in both, it was hell. Online was hell. So we finally get confirmation from Tulsi that that was all bullshit. Awesome. So am I mad at Tulsi? Yes. In 2016, she stuck by her principles and she endorsed Bernie even though the nominee was Hillary. Part of me believes she talked to Bernie about this. And Bernie was like, endorse Biden, like, don't do the thing you did in 2016, it's not worth it. You know, get behind the establishment so you have a future in politics. Like, it sucks when these anti-establishment people get behind the establishment, but they see Trump as the bigger threat. But they feel like they have to get behind Joe, and that's just what's gonna happen. Bernie's gonna do it too. It's gonna suck. All of them get behind Joe fucking Biden. If I lived in a swing state, I would vote for Joe Biden just because we can't risk the Supreme Court being full of the judges that Trump is gonna appoint. But I can't bring myself to vote for Joe Biden. Like, I'm sorry, Yang, I'm sorry, Tulsi, I'm sorry, Bernie. You could literally come to my door and get on your knees and be like, please, please vote for Joe Biden. And I probably couldn't bring myself to do it. I don't know about you guys in the comments. Are you guys gonna vote for Joe Biden? The only positives I can think of are Supreme Court and, like, climate change. I'm disappointed in Yang, disappointed in Tulsi, and I'm gonna be disappointed in Bernie. Does it mean I hate them and I'm gonna stop supporting them? No. If the DNC put a horse head in her and Yang's bed, and that's the way it's gotta be, that's the way it's gotta be right now. It's unfortunate, but maybe when we get more candidates like her, in the future, things will be better. But right now, unfortunately, it feels like they all fall in line because they have to. And it's so painful. Electoral politics is just painful. I wish I could go back to not caring. That was fun. Those times were fun when I didn't care and I didn't understand anything. Not that I understand much now, but you know what I mean. I was just happier. So I hope all of you guys are healthy and happy. How do you guys feel about this? How do you guys feel about Tulsi supporting Biden? Do you guys have any theories behind it? Do you guys think that she just did it because Joe's gonna be the nominee and that's just what they gotta do? Or do you think, like, the horsehead conspiracy is true and they have to support the party's nominee? And Joe is the party's nominee. So let me know. Bye.